Da, 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 da. Okay, it's just a PC. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Yeah, so experience your day in any order that you like. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, this is surprising. The next chapter came a bit earlier. Now, I just want to let you know, this is Sunday, the 11th of December. A Sunday. Thank you, phone. Apparently Hermes deliver things on Sunday. What you're actually looking at is the new case I bought. So I think I'll waste no more time and I'll get into it. Well, I somehow managed to get it in the view of the camera. Although maybe I should have put the tripod on the bed and then stood on the floor. I don't know, anyway. It's going to be difficult to get this open easily. Bloody hell, what am I doing? I'm trying to open this multi-tool thing. It's not really proving all that easy. Ah, that's the blade I want. Lethal. So I think we'll start here. And there we are. It looks like the person that bought, had this case originally, bought this NZXT as a replacement. I don't blame him. That's a nice case. If it is an NZXT, then wow, I lucked out. I don't think so. Let's see if I can get this open. Oh yeah, this is almond. Don't actually know which way this is. Is this up? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Give me a few seconds to get this out of the case. Out of the box. The case out of the box. You know what I meant. And it's out. And that is a nice looking case. Doesn't look like there's much of a scratch on it. I mean, there's a slight amount of... Well, there's a little scratch near the hinge. But there you go, you can open the door. I think I'll close that. Yeah. Well, this is brilliant. Okay, got a screwdriver to help because this was never going to happen on its own. Wow. That is gorgeous. Got the, braided. An LED fan. From what I looked on the web at, that would seem to be a red fan. Same for the two front ones. I can only connect one of the front fans up, so I could actually get this PC running today. But I might not. I think I just want to wait till everything is together. Just seems like a nicer thing to do. Wow, this thing is amazing. It's got all the bits. It's even got these hard drive mounts. From what I've seen, I'll just get one out for you. If you have a 3.5-inch hard drive, you put these little nubs on the end and you slide it into those rails. Beautiful. Actually, let's test it out. There you go. That's the hard drive mounting system. And I've just managed to put my caddy in there, but I'll just show you how this works. You've got these spring-loaded clips here. You pull that out, you flip something over, do the same for that one, pull the drive up, forward, and your hard drive's removed. That is really good. And I don't imagine you'd have to remove hard drives a lot, but I've already thought of a thing I can do with it. This thing here is a caddy, so there it is. So I can just leave that plugged in, and then, yeah. Also, I incurred an injury. It's solid aluminium, it's also sharp. Ow. So really, the task remains now to swap all the other things over from the other case. Damn, it's still bleeding, Jesus Christ. Don't forget, if you're handling an aluminium case, prepare to be cut. I'll just open this door again, but this is fantastic. I'll just show you a little bit more around the case there, whoops. So, as you've seen before, doors, which are fantastic. I love that idea. You've got all your 5.25-inch bays there. You have a few more than you actually have access to on the outside, I think. Is that 4? Well, it could be. You've got some hard drive rails, which appear to have some interesting hard drive locking mechanism. You've got the two 92mm fans there. Bit bummed that the 92 and not 120, but we'll look into that a bit later. They're also red. And hard drive mounting sled. Now the advertisements seem to suggest there was a removable motherboard tray. But just to check that out, I'll just flip the case around. So on the other side, nothing too dramatic. The doors probably would open, but they're secured with screws. I'll just get them out to see if they're exactly the same. Oh, actually no, wait. They're hex bolts. That's not a problem. More than likely I can still get some thumb screws from somewhere to replace those. Not an issue. Let's have a look around the front. There's a shot of the front. It's missing one drive bay, but that's going to be taken up with an optical drive, so not a problem there. It looks like there's some other ones which are removable, but when I've tried to push it out, it's kind of like very firm, so I'm guessing it must be secured from the inside. You got a power button. I don't really need to tell you that. And the front fan inlet, which is quite huge and very unobstructed as well. And the back, which is nothing remarkable really. You've got a nice fan grille and the cutouts for everything major. Very clean otherwise, though. There's no strange little holes or anything, so airflow through this, if you master it correctly, should be excellent. I think it's time to get everything inside of this said machine case. It's going to take a little while, but has to be done properly. Okay, I need to set up, so I may be some time. But view will be instantaneous. Okay, I've got both systems open here. We're about to perform a little bit of surgery. Those fans are pretty dusty, but they're coming out anyway, so they're going to arrive at some point, and not really sure when. Oh god, that board for the front panel looks a bit ropey. This back panel though, the motherboard tray, supposedly can come out. Although I don't think it comes out like you would usually expect, where you pull the I/O ports with it, because they're actually inside of the case. But it does have 4 hex bolts, so what I'm going to try and do is take it out, because if that's removable, that's going to make the job a whole lot easier. Let's have a go at that then. Just one moment. Well, the panel came off. As you can hear, it is very, very solid aluminium. I know I keep repeating that, but it is fantastically solid. A few marks here and there, but this is the motherboard tray. Somehow I've got to get the other thing out and then try and put it onto this. It's going to be a little bit difficult. But I don't know how we're going to sort of manage the side of it, because it's got to hook into the I/O shield. I'll need to look around and try this again. I might actually just film when I manage to get the board in. Right, so that is almost every cable disconnected. Or is it? Actually no, yeah, every cable has been disconnected, you're right. Okay, so next thing to do is to dismount that and put it on that plate over there. Sounds simple enough, but these things often go wrong. I'll let you know how that went. Well, that's on. Pretty solid, except I sheared one of these off. I tried to tighten one of the posts and it's just screwed into the lid. It is screwed into the board, however. All slots are covered, and I had to find some other screws for that, because the ones that came off the other case just didn't work. But it's on there, and now I have the unenviable task of trying to put the I/O shield in. Wish me luck. Now that was a lot simpler than I thought. I literally just slotted the back panel in where the I/O shield is. I think it's perfect. Seems to be okay. Anyway, I've just got to shove this in a bit more, see if that's okay, and we should be done with that. Nice. All in. Really firm. That is just a massively easy install. I wish all motherboard installs could be like that. And the case is really wide. I mean, you can get right in there. There's no weird overhangs, and there's just no excuse for not being able to put the fan on. Well, I think what I'll do is get the cards in just to get them out the way, because I don't want them knocked over and traces getting knocked off the board. And yeah, rear fan in, cards in. Oh, I've probably done that bit. Power supply next. Hit a slight problem trying to get the power supply in. I've only managed to get one screw in there, and that's probably only because it was slightly longer than the rest. This case is so thick and there's no inset for this that I can't actually screw the power supply in, and I would rather not try and put this right side up. So what I'm going to have to do, there's no long sort of M4 screws in the house, so I'm going to have to order some and then get back to this later in the week. That's a damn shame. At least I can get the optical drive in, and then we can call it a night. Okay, it's been about 2 days, is it? Maybe 3? I think it's probably 2. I've lost count. Anyway, so I've got the problem solved, I think, and we've got some other goodies. Let's have a look. So the first thing, and it's actually physically the biggest thing, is a sheet of vinyl. And this is just to cover the window on the side. Very strange you might think, but I'm not really all that much of a fan of windows on cases, hence why I don't buy them if I can help it. Next up, I got another, it's difficult to see on video actually there. It's a fan grill, but unlike that one it's black. Don't ask me why, I just felt like doing it. Even though it does offer a contrast and sort of fits in with the I/O shield, but whatever, I wanted a black one. And of course I managed to get the screws. I went for hex bolts. These should be the right thread. They look a bit thicker, but they may screw into the power supply, which is the whole reason for buying them, because with the case being 5mm thick, the normal sort of screws you'd get just don't bite into them. So hopefully they will be of some use. I have a fan splitter, 3-way as well, because there's potential of putting a third fan in this, but the two ones at the front will be catered for using this little thing. And we have two of these. There's another one, why bother? There it is. So this F9 fan is a 92mm and will replace they both will replace the LED fans in the front, because again, I'm not really a fan of LED fans. Get it? So yeah, I think I should get this case open. I'm going to try those screws first, I think. Brilliant. I managed to get the power supply in. The screws worked perfectly and they look pretty stylish. Got the black fan cover on, and I even used some covers from the new PC, which are just lying around, as slot covers. I don't have two for the bottom. I might just try and buy some. But I think next, the vinyl's going to take a while. That's going to be done on just a completely different day. But I think now I'm just going to try and get the fans in. I managed to get the frame out the front. It literally required that you undid a screw about here that was attached here inside the case. So now this is going to make it a hell of a lot easier to get the fans out. But I think I'll only do this when I've gotten the fans. Pretty dusty, yuck. Okay, got the new fans in, positioned the cables so they come out run about the same point. Also took time to remove this 3.5-inch plate, which is quite useful for putting in a card reader. What I did take out as well was this firewire cable. I'm unlikely to ever use that. And the audio cable. But this one is mostly... it's kind of useless because I think I'm just going to use it as some kind of DAC or something like that. So that's not required. So I think it's time to get this back in the case. Right, just a few things to get out. The optical drive's still in there. And of course I've got to remove that fan that I put in last time. Well, the time before last, because it's a good fan and it's no need to sort of stay in this case. Yeah. So we're very near the end. Oh, also, 1 second, I'll try and balance that on my feet. I liberated this little thing, which is a very useful connector, although connecting it up is sometimes difficult, so I think let's get the driving things out of here now. Success! All items liberated. Now to go on the other case. Basically just doing it all backwards. But I like this kind of thing, so it's okay. Well, I think that's just about it. Literally all... whoops, I'm in the light. All the cables are in. Once again looks like a neural net, but there's really nothing I can do about this because these cables are not optimum lengths. This really should be longer. There's the fan. Here the fans are in. I think it might be time to try powering this thing up in a little bit. There's a couple of things to do. The window's yet to be done. And... oh yes, the cooler. The cooler has to be put on. But I'm going to do that tomorrow because I'm too tired. I mean, it's the 17th now. We've been on this for a few days, technically. Tomorrow's the 18th of Sunday. Well, not doing anything, so we'll do it then. Okay, it's the next day, and we have the fan, which we need to clean all the pre-existing thermal paste spooge off. Now, this fan does have a little bit of a problem. It's got like what sounds like a bearing that's dying. When you turn it on, it sort of sounds grindy, and then it goes away, which is the reason why I replaced it initially. Arctic Cooling, our good buddies here, who already have a lot of fans in a lot of my builds, they do a fan which looks like... well, they actually sell a CPU cooler with a fan on it, the F9 Pro. I might just buy that and replace this thing with it. I wanted to do possibly push-pull, but the design of it doesn't really allow for that. Or I could just get two of their case fans. I mean, it's a fan at the end of the day. But anyway, the fin stack of this is probably adequate, so I don't think I need to change that very much. So yeah, this should go on in a little bit after I clean it, but that might take a little while because it's gunky and horrible. Back in a bit.